there. I didn't know you were a pilot. It's amazing what you can learn in a virtual classroom.
During the early 19th century, reports of ancient monuments hidden in the jungle circulated round the world. Tales of these lost cities attracted North American John Lloyd Stephens, an explorer who had published books about his travels. In 1839, Stephens organized an expedition to Central America, accompanied by the talented English artist Frederick Catherwood.
Hey guys, don't go too fast.
For the first time, we came to a building constructed long before the Europeans knew of the existence of this continent.
Come on guys, let's go. Wow, look at this place. They have done well for themselves. Wow. Wow, look at that courtyard. This is totally awesome.
I was filled with amazement and admiration for the beauty and solidity of the architecture. Here was a true palace, with royal apartments surrounded by magnificent courtyards.
Hey, take a look at this. It's really cool.
The walls and pillars were richly ornamented with reliefs and figures so beautifully created that it was easy to see the artistic ability of the Maya people.
The Mayans were amazing artists.
With the aid of a camera lucida, Catherwood made many drawings.
Photo bomb! It's funny because he's not even taking a photo, he's drawing.
Historians say America was peopled by savages, but savages never raised these structures. Savages never carved these stones. Their accomplishments were worthy to stand beside those of Egypt, Greece, and Rome.
In 1841, Stephens published his book, illustrated by Catherwood, and contributed important information toward the knowledge of the Maya cities. Stephens recognized the native origins of the ruins and admired the beauty of the cities.
Oh, no, it's hard to hold still that long.
Alfred Maudsley was one of the first to study the ancient Maya cities with a scientific approach. Maudsley drew detailed plans and made sketches of the monuments. In this manner, he established a base for later archaeological studies.
How's your drawing coming?
He carefully analyzed the sculptured motifs which decorated the walls of the buildings. His attention was caught by the frequent representation of the serpent. The The molds of reliefs and glyphs which he made enabled the study of the inscriptions.
The best of my tools was the camera. The dry gelatin negative had just been invented, and this enabled photographers to work in previously inaccessible places.
Wow, this is what the buildings looked like when you first found them? Whoa! Look how much stuff is on them. There's lots of trees and rubble. Wow, this is awesome to see these.
The major contribution of Maudsley was his photographs, which have since been used in the restoration and preservation of many objects believed to have been lost to erosion, vandalism, and theft. Some of the monuments photographed by Maudsley revealed a richness of design carved in stone. For many years, it was thought that these carvings represented gods and priests, and that the glyphs were concerned only with the calendar. Much later, we came to know their real significance. Some of these designs were also found in the Maya books we call codices. The Maya were great mathematicians and astronomers. They calculated the length of the solar year with an error of only 23 seconds. The cycle of Venus with a margin of error of only 1 day in 6,000 years. Some of the buildings of Chichen Itza were so constructed as to mark the equinox and solstices. They also knew the cycles of Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, and were able to calculate eclipses of the sun 33 years ahead. All this was recorded in their books, and fortunately on stone too. In 1946, a discovery was made, which cast more light on the mystery of the Maya. The theories were about to dramatically change. Photographer Giles Healy was making an expedition to the jungle inhabited by the Lacandon.
As my eyes became accustomed to the dim lamplight, I saw that each room was painted with
Hey,
frescoes
watch the light.
that showed a file of Maya
Look at this.
chiefs in full regalia.
It's about time you guys got here. It took you a while. This is awesome. They look like a whole band. I wonder what they would sound like with all the instruments.
The panel told the history of the royal family of Palenque, their wars, and the transmission of power to young kings. Among these was R.E.A.L, ruler of Palenque, king from the age of 12 and governing until 80. It was ceremonies such as this which were recorded in stone in all the Maya cities.
Well, Palinky, let's find over there. I'll take her down over there.
Studied intensively by the Mexican National Institute of Anthropology and History. In 1949, the Mexican archaeologist Alberto R.E.A.L decided to investigate the Temple of the Inscriptions to see if it had been built on top of another building.
So I was thinking, I bet there's a hole under there.
R.E.A.L noticed that the wall of the temple did not finish at the floor, but appeared to continue below.
I told you, there's a hole under there, yeah.
Intrigued, he discovered that one of the huge stone slabs had plugs which enabled it to be moved.
Vamos, más rápido, al mismo tiempo. Con mucho cuidado, con mucho cuidado. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Con mucho cuidado. Con mucho cuidado.
Oh my goodness.
As the slab was moved, a narrow opening was revealed, a secret passageway.
As we cleared the passage, several steps appeared. I immediately resolved to follow the stairs to its end, in spite of the exhausting work this implied. During the next 3 years, the work progressed painfully slowly. 400 tons of rubble was removed by hand. In 1952, while working deep inside the pyramid, we found a room which seemed to have no exit.
Kinda sounds like Mr. Stoltz's head, yeah. It's kinda hollow. Awesome! I think we found a room.
Pásame la lámpara.
Anybody got a flashlight? Well, of course he's got one.
Mira. Vamos ahí viene.
Oh, they look heavy. Oh. I feel like I should help or something. Be careful, guys. Make sure you use your legs when you're
despacio, despacio.
lifting. You don't want to hurt your
Vamos
back.
para abajo, que se apoye contra la pared. Contra la pared,
Careful,
contra la
careful,
pared.
guys. You're doing a great job.
Descánsala, descánsala, descánsala.
Oh, careful, careful.
Descánsala.
Phew. Good job. Oh, what's in there? Is it like the Ark of the Covenant, or a pot of gold, or my Lucky Charms, or just some cool toys? What's in there? Wait for me, guys. Is there any big spiders in there? I don't like spiders, no.
The floor was completely covered by a monumental slab of carved stone. This slab was supported by an immense block with carved reliefs.
Oh, fantástico. Extraordinario.
Just lift it a little higher, a little higher. You're almost there. I can almost see in there.
As the stone was lifted centimeter by centimeter, my excitement grew. A smaller lid was hidden beneath.
Vámonos, vámonos.
Oh, that's a bummer. There's another lid. We'll never know what's in there until we get this open.
Ahí va acá. ¿Están listos? Ahí, aquí en su lado. Vámonos.
I hurt my back in the last left.
Ahí va, ahí va, ahí va. Ahí está.
Are you watching?
Para abajo, para abajo, para abajo. Ahí está. Jálale, jálale, jálale.
It's almost open.
Ahí va. Ya se asustó. Ahí está.
That's not what I was expecting, but it's still pretty cool.
We had discovered the tomb of a king. The buried king was R.E.A.L.
The scene carved on the lid of the sarcophagus described the descent of the king on his journey to the world of the dead.
The culture of the ancient Maya, who built these awesome cities and amazing artwork, disappeared. Their legacy of art and farming and culture will live on to the Mayan people who are still living today in Central America and Southern America. Bye-bye! Hope you had a good time. Bye-bye, guys!